guys, it's Siobhan with Kitty and Beyond. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing horoscope readings, and this is for Aries. That can apply to Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus, or if you have Aries heavily in your chart, or if you just felt called to click on this video, then there's probably some messages here for you. I always remind you to take only what resonates with you and leave the rest. If it doesn't resonate, if it doesn't strike a vibrational resonance within you, then it is not meant for you. If it triggers you, then that's a lower dimensional resonance. If it feels inspiring or it feels right, then it's a higher dimensional resonance. Okay guys, so let's jump into it. We're going to do the normal monthly spread, but I'm going to be using the Fairy Tarot, the Angel Oracle as final messages, and the traditional Rider-Waite for clarifiers if we need it. Okay, so the current self, we have the Five of Summer. The theme of the month, we have the King of Spring. The key goal this month, whoops, that's too many, just one please. Key goal this month, Three of Autumn. Okay, the obstacle to overcome is the Hermit. We'll go through all these individually. The major accomplishment is, these cards are so slippery, the Ten of Spring. What to avoid in December, Eight of Summer. What to embrace, wow, that was fast. Release, embrace, release, Aries. Where to find support. Princess of Summer. And advice and encouragement. Eight of Spring. Okay. So, Aries, your current self energy is coming up as the Five of Spring. So it says, trust that there is a reason for everything that happens. Remove yourself from the negative emotions of others, or focusing on what frightens or worries you. So this is the Five of Cups equivalent, and it can indicate that there's an emotional connection or attachment to the past or things that were lost. So it's almost like this crying over spilt milk type of energy. It's like it's done, it's over, but you're still either focusing on it or what's the word? You know, when you dwelling, dwelling in the past, or dwelling on past hurts, emotional loss, or things that didn't work out quite as you expected them to. So it is a 5 card, which indicates that there is change afoot. So with the rest of the cards that you have 2 8s, a 3, a 10 as well. So just in the minors. So you have potential for expansion. There's definitely karma here and things that need to be released and moved forward from, but you're also closing out a cycle as you release. So releasing emotionally is going to be a big one in December for you guys. The theme of the month is the King of Spring. So this is the King of Wands. He is innovative, inspiring, wise, and theatrical, and it indicates a financial windfall. Your leadership skills are needed now. An unexpected supporter of your cause. So this being the Wands card, which is a fire sign, this can indicate you or another fire sign individual, somebody who's very passionate, very leadership oriented, and can be a little bit testy sometimes, as fire signs can tend to be volatile. Not always, but they can be. So this actually is a card of good advancement in the career realm as well as the spiritual realm. The wands also apply to home and industry. So this is anything to do with taking action. And Aries, you do tend to be very action oriented. So this is taking action and stepping into the highest realm of your element, which is the king of spring. So expect increase in abundance, stepping into your role as a leader in your own life. So, parenting yourself, self discipline, taking charge, taking action, making choices, making changes. This is going to be important. Letting go of the past, as we saw with the Five of Cups. Maybe cleaning up any messes. If there was spilled milk and there's no sense in crying over it, clean it up, move forward, that kind of thing. So, this is the energy of the King of Spring. And that is the theme of December. Now, the key goal this month, you have the Three of Autumn, which indicates really working on something. So, following your passion when it comes to your career, be the best at what you do. You will be compensated for your creative talents. So, this is when you step into your leadership role, when you really take action in the realm of career and finances, there will be a financial windfall for you. So this can also indicate working with other people. In this card, he's just working alone, but it can indicate working on something with the potential input of other people or one other person. So partnerships, um, business deals, that kind of thing. But basically, your skill and your creative expression will be looked on highly from others. So, this also indicates showing your work, putting it out there, advertising, marketing, possibly networking as well while you're continuing to put in the work, and then you will see the results of that. So, good stuff there. The obstacle this month is the Hermit. So you may be a little bit, again, too stuck in the past. The Hermit, in its negative or its shadow aspect, can be too focused on the past, especially emotional issues that happen in the past or replaying old things. It is good to sometimes find solitary, um, you know, communion with ourself, but if you are spending too much time and you're dwelling in that energy instead of using it to create change or emotional healing, then it's not necessarily a positive thing. So, the obstacle to overcome here is pushing yourself outside of your boundaries, getting out of the past, standing in the now, and planning for the future, as well as taking action, which means getting out there. And the hermit is very, he likes to seclude himself, he likes to pull back, isolate. Go within, that kind of thing. But so this might be an obstacle for you either to step into the positive aspects of the hermit to create self-healing as it relates to the Five of Summer, or this could be an obstacle in the sense that you have to now step out of that hermit energy and really take action, make changes, and put yourself outside your comfort zone potentially. So in this deck, it says find or be a mentor, take a break from society, a commitment to your spiritual growth. So, in other terms, this can be related to, really dedicating yourself to your spiritual growth, really reparenting yourself, deprogramming yourself, learning new habits, or taking new actions that will benefit you moving forward when it comes to work, spirituality, emotions, all different aspects of our lives that are interconnected and interrelated. So the 9 itself also indicates the ending of a cycle. So you're coming to the completion, and then next up we actually have 10. So this is very appropriate consecutively. And this is the major accomplishment. So the 10 of spring is the 10 of Wands. It says, ask for help from others, all work and no play, being weighed down by too many responsibilities. So, customarily, this indicates taking on too much, having too much on your plate, feeling stressed out, overwhelmed, or burdened in some way, being weighed down by responsibilities that you've taken on. So, perhaps this has caused you to hermit, or you may have or may be hermiting as a coping mechanism or a response to the stress that has come from a leadership position, potentially. So, taking responsibility oftentimes comes with a heavy load, we have to be sure that we are ready for that, that we're prepared for that, and that we're willing to put in the work to maintain that level of responsibility. So the hermit can help you in the light sense here, the positive aspect. The hermit can help you to release any responsibility that is not yours that you've taken on, perhaps trying to heal others or help others where it's inappropriate, offering unsolicited advice or healing, or trying to take on the issues or problems of other people when it's not your job or your responsibility. Sometimes, we try to do this out of the goodness of our heart and we do it with good intent, but it ends up leading to being overburdened, overstressed, overworked, and also it creates unhealthy boundaries, because when we take on too much, people will tend to expect that from us, and then we tend to breed resentment and anger at having to do all of this work and then it not being reciprocated or it being expected of us. So this is a really big one as well, and it's again a fire sign. So this is to do with your natural element, things that come either naturally to you or that you may feel blocked within when it comes to your fire sign. So this is, leadership that can be very positive, or in there can be a negative aspect to it. So everything has light and dark. There is a shadow aspect to everything within ourselves and our own personal element. So it's important that we recognize that and take appropriate action to temper temper our fire and our water, our earth and our air. Make sure that we have all of the elements in perfect harmony and in balance, so that we don't end up too much in one to the exclusion of all else, creating imbalance, if you know what I'm talking about. So what to avoid in the month of December is the Eight of Summer. So it says the desire for a more meaningful life, realizing that it's time to move on, or choosing to make major life changes. So this is interesting because you're kind of being advised not to do anything rash. Don't make any big decisions like quitting your job or breaking up or leaving a relationship, or anything that requires walking away. I don't think this necessarily applies to starting new ventures, but I don't think that that will necessarily be a theme in the month of December for you. If you feel called to start something new, then by all means, if you're feeling inspired or you're intuitively guided to do so, then jump on that. But I don't see in the cards this sort of new beginning. It's not quite there yet. This is more just about this period of assessment, this period of self healing and self knowledge, self discipline, um, and transformation. And then from there, the changes will happen. So December may not be the month to make any huge, huge changes. But we do have a solar eclipse at the end of December. So maybe going into January, especially with the new year and a new decade, January could be the time to start making those changes. But this month, avoid um, doing anything rash, especially emotionally. Okay, so what to embrace? You have release, let go of the past, an ending that makes way for new opportunities, and a time to move on. So, over the course of December, you'll be working on releasing things that aren't serving you, letting go of things, allowing the death process to take place, and bringing you back into stability, because 13, when reduced numerologically, is 4. So 4 is all about stability, finding balance, creating strong foundations, and or if you're going through this process of an ending, it's about rebuilding a strong foundation. So at this point, there's a period of release, then transformation comes from that, and then you'll start to see the change or know when to make the changes in your physical reality as you go forward, moving into January. So the Supporting factor in December is the Princess of Summer. So, this could be somebody that you know, this could be an aspect of yourself, but this person is gentle, sensitive, kind, but a little bit inexperienced, especially when it comes to emotional maturity. So, the Princess of Summer can indicate a new relationship or emotional experience, invitations to social events, and or a compassionate friend you can share your concerns with. So, supporting you is emotionally supportive friends. Perhaps they're still learning how to control or heal or discipline their own emotions, but they can still support you in your emotional healing. Or if this is an aspect of you, this is just finding that inner innocence emotionally and then healing from there. Being gentle, sensitive, and kind with yourself, even though it may feel a little bit like you're on unfamiliar ground or unfamiliar territory. You may feel a little inexperienced, but this is actually what is supporting you. It's taking those leaps of faith into emotional transformation and change through action, intention, and decision. So, if you do have anything else supporting you, it'll be very much in the emotional realm. So, keep an eye out for emotionally supportive relationships that help you to release some of your burdens. This could be also intuitive or psychic work because emotions and water are very much related to psychic and intuitive abilities. So, this could be activating within you your inner knowing and intuitive experience, even though it's the beginning of that. So, last but not least, we have advice and encouragement, which is the Eight of Spring. So, stress that comes from having many things happening at once, successful multitasking, and sudden events or changes. So, this is, or sorry, did I say seven? It's the Eight of Spring. I don't even know if I can't remember if I said seven or eight. So, Eight of Spring. This is the Eight of Wands. This they are putting a lot of they're stressing that this may be a little bit of a transitional time for you. It's not quite um, the period of seeing the manifestation of the change, but it's the beginning of the change. And so that can feel a little bit stressful, especially if you've got a lot on your plate, if you've got a lot going on emotionally and to do with work. It seems like that seems to be the two areas that you guys are working on in December. It's very much to do with emotional and work. So, when it comes to your career, when it comes to things like that, successful multitasking will help you to deal with some of the burdens that you have on your plate, some of the things that you need to do. You're, just conquering your to-do list and handling being adaptable through sudden events and changes. The Eight of Wands, I always see this as things that have been set in motion that are in the process of kind of taking shape or taking form. So this is what I'm kind of feeling from December overall. It's really about you guys kind of being in this transitionary period where you're kind of up in the air. You've taken the leap, you've started to make the changes, but you haven't landed yet. So you don't really know where you are or where you're going. But everything is set in motion. So this is a good thing overall, but it can be a little bit stressful or uncomfortable as you may feel like you're again in unknown territory. So just being patient with the process and going through the necessary steps to, appease your emotional needs as you transition, then you can land on your feet basically. So once those wands land, once they hit the ground, you will be able to move forward from there. So this is I feel this very it's like a karmic change for you guys because we've got two eights here, the Eight of Summer and the Eight of Spring. So this is sort of like this transitionary faded period where these things are happening for very good reason and it's all in alignment. So that's like there's the dominoes, and the Eight of Spring is about kind of those dominoes going one by one by one, and then once they get to the end, then you've got the Eight of Summer, which is time to transition. So So going into January, there's going to be, or there may be, some significant changes, but we will see what the cards say when we actually get to the January readings for next month. So stay tuned for those. But before we go here, let's grab an Archangel Oracle for you guys for December. Oh, okay. Well, there's three that came out, but I'm just gonna take the one that flew right up onto the, there we go, comfort. Okay, so Archangel Azrael, he is the archangel of transition. He helps souls to transition when they pass away to the other side, or move on to the other side, I should say. And he helps you also through times of great emotional change. He's very much related to like spiritual healing and counseling. I always see him as like the archangel of counseling. So, you know, he's the one who will help you to sort of understand your own emotions, like this Princess of Spring was saying, and heal that Five of Summer energy, that Five of Cups energy. So, comfort. Archangel Azrael says, I am with you in your time of need, helping your heart to heal. So you have emotional support coming from so many different directions. It's just about being open to that and accepting it when it comes in, as well as putting in the work yourself to make the changes that are necessary. So releasing, letting go, spending time, you know, going over what's happening, but not dwelling too much in the past or in the negative. All right, guys. So Merry Christmas to those of you who separate, or happy holidays to all of you out there for December. I wish you the best of luck as we transition through this month into the solar eclipse and then 2020. So we will see you next year. I love you guys. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me, all of the information will be in the description box below to get a little bit more detailed. Or if you're looking for any kind of spiritual counseling, I do holographic Usui Reiki sessions, which they often turn into like a spiritual counseling session as we move through the energy within your aura. Yes, all of the information is in the description box below, services and pricing, as well as how to contact me. Please email siomcg41@outlook.com with what type of reading or session you would like to book in the subject box, and you can send payment to the PayPal link in the description box below. All right, guys, I love you. Thank you so much for watching, supporting the channel, for being here on this spiritual journey at this time on earth. I love you, and we will see you next month. Bye.